It is not the rare features, incredible conditions, or extraordinary talents that make some people unique, but rather the stories of how they survive being different. Hang on, as we'll delve and gain insight into what makes these fascinatingly rare people truly one in a million. Muhammad KALEEM. A rare form of gigantism. Muhammad KALEEM was born with a rare medical condition, macrodactyly, or local gigantism, which made his hands and arms grow to huge proportions. People of his village mercilessly called him the Devil's Child. After being bullied incessantly, he finally got help by a local surgeon who reduced his hands to a somewhat normal level. ADALIA Rose. A girl with a super rare aging condition. ADALIA Rose is one of very few folks born with progeria, which evokes dwarfism, a lack of body fat and muscle, loss of hair, visible veins, a high-pitched voice, and stiffness in the joints, and more in an individual. Despite her illness, she has become a diva and a superstar on social media.
Yes, I look like there. God look like there. Like you're talking to a person like straight up.
MANDY Sellars. From cartoons to real life, meet the legendary Bigfoot. MANDY Sellars, diagnosed with a rare genetic mutation, Proteus syndrome, which caused her legs to grow inappropriately and extraordinarily huge. This horrible disease has made her life miserable, as she cannot walk properly. But she didn't give up and continued to live her life as normally as she could.
And I'm striving forward every single day, every single week, every single month.
Patadar. From fiction to reality, here comes the real Wolfman. A schoolboy, Patadar, was born with a rare disease, hypertrichosis, a condition known as werewolf syndrome. This abnormal condition causes hair growth on the face, arms, and other parts of the body. Despite this, Lalit lives a happy life and dreams of one day supporting his parents by becoming a policeman. Dongjae. How much is too huge? Probably less than you think. Witness the lady with the hands of the Hulk. Dongjae not only became the woman with the biggest hands in the world, but also the only girl with such incurable pathology. This rare mutation caused her hands to grow excessively huge, so much that she couldn't even hold anything properly. People used to mock her with the name Hulk Hands, but the woman is coming out stronger from all the bullying. SHILOH PEPPIN. Fantasy come true! A mermaid in real life. Meet SHILOH PEPPIN, the adorable child born with Sirenamelia, called mermaid syndrome. Her legs were fused together, and she was born with only a small piece of a kidney. She has no reproductive organs and almost no large intestine. Imagine how painful it must have been for her. Doctors declared that she wouldn't live, but she defied all the odds and lived for 10 years.
I'm not even quite the same than all the others, but some people just like the way I am.
TIFFANY GEIGEL. A dwarf dancer? A girl born with a rare bone disorder, TIFFANY GEIGEL, is just a 1 meter long person. She has a curved spine, deformed ribs, displaced organs, and many severe diseases. She can't even turn her neck. But she's never let her disability stand in the way of her dreams, and she transformed her disadvantages into her superpower and became a professional dancer. People like her are true inspiration for others.
I mean, I love dancing, and I knew I was good. My dance teacher told me I was really good, and...
Rama Haruna. A teenage girl lived her whole life in a bowl. Here is Rama Haruna, a 19-year-old Nigerian girl. She was completely healthy when she was born, But that changed by 6 months old when she stopped growing due to suffering from a mysterious condition that stopped her arms and legs from developing properly, which made her whole life miserable by living in a bowl. DEEPAK PASWAN. Octopus in a human version. Meet DEEPAK PASWAN, suffering from a fair share of stigma due to his unprecedented development. Instead of the 4 usual limbs, he had 8, with the other extra 4 sticking right out of his chest. Those extra body parts were said to be an underdeveloped problematic twin to Mother and DEEPAK before birth. Fortunately, doctors helped him and performed surgery, which made him better, and now he's living his life like a normal person. Joseph Williams. Here's the story of a person without a jaw. Meet Joseph, who has a rare congenital disorder, otofacial syndrome, which left him unable to speak, smell, or eat with his mouth. Instead, he relies on an eating tube and communicates through a mobile device and sign language. Consequently, in these cases, the person born with it does not survive, as being unable to breathe and eat. But Joseph got lucky, as he has survived and is living with the love of his life.
I'm gonna make me some eggs.
She makes my pancakes really good.
RAMESH DARJI. A person whose skin peels off. How painful it must be, or something far beyond painful. Here's RAMESH DARJI, a boy who was born with a painful, rare fungal skin disorder, due to which his skin peels off after every 15 days. It is called ichthyosis and has caused his skin to be shed and replaced by the thick black scales and given him a stone man's appearance. Fortunately, a British singer saw his story and helped him in his treatment.
How are you doing, little Smiler? You alright?
NSANZIMANA ELLIE. 1 in a million. Try 1 in a billion. That's how rare NSANZIMANA ELLIE truly is. Meet this 21-year-old boy from South Africa who was diagnosed with a rare disease called microcephaly that left him with unusual features and learning disabilities, due to which he was bullied and dubbed Monkey Man by his villagers. His incredible story of survival went viral, and many people donated money for his school, where he learned to communicate properly, a skill that later helped him in his modeling career with various clothing brands. Lady ARDILLA. Beating fate! This is the story of Lady ARDILLA, the lady rocker from Colombia with a rare medical condition called fibrous dysplasia. As an infant, she had a slight heart murmur, over which doctors performed a surgery and gave her a powerful dose of steroids. That didn't work well, and doctors declared she would die at 12 years of age, which kinda came out as a joke when she beat all odds to live. At age 29 today, she's a successful graphic designer and spreads positivity around the world.
Hola.
¿Cómo está?
Nyakim Gatwick. Breaking all the standards of perfect beauty with her highly pigmented skin. Meet the Queen of the Dark, Nyakim Gatwick, the most artistically glamorous model from Sweden. The title suits her, as she has an incredibly beautiful, dark skin tone, darker than any human on Earth. Her striking skin put on some hurdles during her early childhood, but later in life, her utterly breathtaking features in pure black complexion made her an inspiration to many people.
Don't you have a hard time being as black as you are? I just laughed and I told him that I'm beautiful the way I am. I don't need life to be easy.
Ghanem Al Mafta. Beating everyone in Paralympics. Meet the champion, Ghanem Al Mafta from Qatar, born with caudal regression syndrome that impairs the development of lower spine and was given very little chance of survival by doctors. But he overcame obstacles and surprised people around the world with his sportsmanship. Now, he is Qatar's youngest entrepreneur and has founded an ice cream company. So, think, why be a procrastinator when you're blessed with a healthy body? Persavia Boren. Heart placed in the middle of the abdomen. Here, see a once-in-a-million condition called thoracoabdominal syndrome. Her heart can be visibly seen beating outside the protective walls of the chest, prevented by a thin layer of skin. Even her chest bones, abdominal muscles, and diaphragm are missing, but the smile on her face tells that nothing can stop her living her life to the fullest.
When I grow up, I want to be an actress. What's it called when you draw?
Artist? When you
I
draw?
want to be an artist.
Sultan KOSEN. Breaking all the records of being high. Here's Sultan KOSEN, the world's tallest man ever, by 8 feet 2 inches of height. He has to order tailored clothes due to his height. Being this tall isn't much of a blessing for him, but he's happy. The condition has rendered him with so many medical conditions, and doctors have increased his medication. The problems are there, but still, the tallest man in the world meets everyone with the brightest smile possible.
Çok uzun olduğumdan dolayı çünkü sıralara sığamıyordum.
Zion Clark. Have you ever seen the fastest runner and wrestler without legs? Meet Zion Clark, a wrestler born with caudal regression syndrome, which caused him to be born with his upper body only. His childhood was a recipe for disaster, bouncing around between the foster care system. But his courage and spirit made him the fastest man in the world on 2 arms.
And don't get me wrong, I'm a very nice person. But at the same time, when I step into the mat, I'm out to knock off everybody's head.
Tessa. The girl born without a nose is a miracle, isn't it? Here, I'll show you a real-life girl without a nose, Tessa.
My voice gets quieter and breathy.
Who was born different due to rare BAM syndrome, which made her lose her nose. She breathes through tracheostomy and also has one vision in her eye and none in the other. Despite facing challenges most of us can't even imagine, Tessa's unwavering spirit and positivity shine through.
I am excited to get a new nose. The first thing I'll do when I get my new nose is I'm gonna put my glasses on.
KHALID bin MOHSEN SHAARI. A boy weighs 96 massive stones. Now this is what you call one gigantic boy. KHALID bin MOHSEN SHAARI has been recorded as the world's heaviest man alive with 610 kilograms, or 1,345 pounds. He couldn't move or even wash himself, so he was moved by crane to the hospital. PETERO BAYAKANTODA. A poor disabled child with a misshapen head and eyes bulged out. PETERO BAYAKANTODA is a child from Uganda who was born with Crouzon syndrome, which is a very rare disease, resulting in the skull fusing abnormally, typically in the shape of an egg. But PETERO's luck changed when a surgical team offered him help and reshaped his face. Devendra SUTHAR. Have you ever imagined a person with 28 toes and fingers? Well, here they come. Maximum Fingers man Devendra SUTHAR has 28 fingers and toes after being born with a condition called polydactyly. This condition forms during pregnancy. Despite the suffering, he's living his life to the fullest and earned the title in the Guinness World Records. Michelle KISH. Here comes the bubbly adult with a child's appearance. Meet 24-year-old Michelle Elizabeth KISH, born with a rare genetic disease, Hallermann-Streiff syndrome, that caused her a severe form of dwarfism and childlike facial features. Michelle began to grow with limitations, but she's showing that she's a fighter, and she'll live her life to the fullest.
Yay!
ALANI dos Santos. A girl channeling miraculous power of healing. ALANI dos Santos, a young girl that allegedly has healing powers. The 8-year-old girl claims to be channeling God's power to faith healing with the power to heal anything from cancer to HIV. She has been exorcising demons and healing illnesses. She's been given the nickname, the Little Missionary. Paul CARRISON. People love it when they spot a cartoon-like character in real life. Meet the Blue Man, Paul CARRISON, aka Papa Smurf, who's one of them.
Were you around my shade before?
Yeah, probably a little lighter.
He is the bluest man on Earth due to a rare medical condition of dermatitis, which is caused by the excessive use of colloidal silver. He has silver-colored hair and a beard, which completes his look into Papa Smurf.
A friend that hadn't seen me in a while came by and asked me what I'd done to myself.
Gabby Gingras. A real-life mutant. Can you imagine a life without pain? It sounds ideal, but it's a reality for Gabby Gingras, a girl who feels no pain. She has a rare genetic condition, congenital insensitivity, that left her unable to feel pain and vulnerable to terrible consequences. Gary Turner. Meet the Rubber Man. Gary Turner is an individual with a condition known as Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, due to which his skin has become loose and stretchable to a huge extent. This syndrome has resulted in him having the stretchiest skin in the universe.
There you go.
Maya Gamata. This girl demonstrates a superpower, a third eye. Meet Maya Gamata, an 11-year-old who possesses the power of a third eye. She can actually see with a blindfold on. She can read, play games, draw, and other tasks while blindfolded.
First the green, then the orange, then the blue, then the yellow, then the like a donut.
Wonderful.
Tanya Herbert. Standing at 6'9", Tanya has the world's largest feet, with her right foot measuring 33.1 centimeters and her left foot measuring 32.5 centimeters. Her shoe size is making it extremely difficult to find shoes that fit her.
Saying this is my hand to her foot. This right here.
Anshu Kumar. The Alien Boy. Meet Anshu Kumar, a resilient 21-year-old who's been living with multiple disorders that have caused him to be unfairly labeled an alien due to his large head, pointed eyes, and only one trail of hardly visible hair on his head. After 21 years, when Anshu's parents lost all hope, he still hopes a medical community might find a cure for him.
मेरी आंखें बहुत अजीब हैं और आंखें दूर-दूर हैं.
Bablu Pashi. One Hulk arm and the other human. For many young men, having the biggest arms is their main goal. But meet Bablu Pashi, whose arm won't stop growing due to severe gigantism. His arm is 44 pounds, and he barely even walks for 10 minutes. His gigantism has been a gigantic barrier in his happiness. Rumesa Gelgi. Here's a tree-high woman. Rumesa Gelgi is the world's tallest living woman, standing at 7 foot 7 inches. She suffers from Weaver syndrome, which results in accelerated growth that the person requires a walking frame to assist them. But other than that, she leads a relatively normal life.
I feel very proud to receive this new record title as the tallest living woman.
Sarah Gertz. A young model with saggy skin. Looks absurd. But here comes 26-year-old model Sarah Gertz, whose whole body is covered in wrinkles due to a rare condition that her body has zero collagen, an essential that keeps skin firm and elastic. Her disease is incurable, and it's horrible knowing that it's going to get worse over time. But despite that fact, she lives her life to the fullest and achieves her goals proudly.
My skin was my biggest insecurity, but now I think it's just the most beautiful thing ever.
Anastasia Pokershuk. We all like chubby cheeks, but do we all like these Herculean cheeks? Meet Anastasia, a Ukrainian model who claims to have the world's biggest cheeks, who shared throwback pictures showing how she used to look before undergoing various face-altering cosmetic surgeries. She is famous for her protruding cheeks and still wants to get more huge cheeks.
in my face. I never count because it's a lot. You can see that this is lots of, yes?
Taylor Clement. Atypical grim facial appearance. Meet Taylor Clement, born with Mobius syndrome, which is a rare neurological disorder that affects cranial nerves, due to which she can't move her eyebrows. Her eyes don't track from left to right, and her upper lip doesn't move, which means she can't smile. And it's super rare. In spite of being bullied, she managed to be a record-breaking Paralympian and charity ambassador with a mission to show people there's always light in the end of the tunnel. Mahendra Ahiwar. He sees the world upside down, but his spirits remain upright. Now that's what we call upside down. Meet Mahendra Ahiwar, unable to hold his neck upright, seeing the world upside down. Life is full of difficulties due to the very rare dropped head syndrome, which makes his neck muscles very weak and causes the chin to rest on the chest. He is also unable to stand or walk, but in spite of his painful illness, his spirits are high. Aaron Gatari Nijeri. Meet Aaron Gatari, a man who knows what it's like to live with abnormal hands. He was diagnosed with Ollier disease, which caused non-cancerous growths of cartilage to develop within his bones. This led to skeletal deformities and malformed limbs. It all began with a small pimple on his right hand, and despite undergoing surgeries, his hands were transformed into giant, heavy claws. Although Aaron's condition is incurable, his spirit remains unbreakable. Sidaveri. A boy with a triangle-shaped head. Meet Sidaveri, a baby from Rwanda who shocked doctors with his unusual appearance. This little boy was born with a malformed head in his bizarre condition and was diagnosed as a rare cephalic disorder that affects the central nervous system as it develops and also alters the growth of the skull and brain. Due to his look, people started calling him an alien. But later, a doctor helped and performed a major surgery to make things better for him. See you next time.